So I bought this shower curtain for our bathroom. We remodeled, and I really liked the colors in it because it picks up the browns and the grays. And I needed some texture to the bathroom because there's just a mini blind in there. Now the shower curtain that I'm going to put on the window treatment, I want it going to the floor. So I need to add some fabric to the bottom. I'm going to add this gray solid panel to the bottom. And what I found at the thrift store was actually a bed skirt. And it was only 66 cents. So I'm taking the long side and I'm going to seam rip it off, and then also seam rip here. And then I'll attach those two together. The Bible reading for today is found in Matthew 27:51, and it says, "And behold, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth shook, and the rocks were split." We just finished celebrating Easter. For me, Easter is a remembrance of the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. The significance of the temple curtain being torn is because only priests could enter beyond that point one time a year to atone for the nation's sin. Because Jesus died and shed his blood, he was the atonement from then on. Friends, good news, we are free to ask God for forgiveness now. If you want to learn more about this, you can read in the Bible in Hebrews chapter 9, where it explains the atonement for sin. The shower curtain seams were fairly easy to get apart, but when I moved to the bed skirt, I found that was a little bit more difficult, so I ended up just trimming off the liner part of the bed skirt so I could easily get to the hem and seam rip that. And now I'm just pinning the right sides together to prepare to sew the hem. And I forgot to turn on the camera at the beginning where I started stitching, but you always want to back stitch. So I finished the bottom part of the curtain, and I wanted to get some trim to go in between where the seams are. So I went to the thrift store, and I was very excited when I found this brown color that matches the brown in the curtain. And then I also found some lace. They were $1/4 each. I couldn't believe it, and they matched perfectly. I couldn't believe when I brought the lace home how the pattern of the lace mimics the pattern right here. I was really excited about that. So now we're going to get the trim put on. Even though pinning is a long and tedious process, it's really an important step so your ribbon does not move around. So now we're going to sew a line right here on the top. And I'm going to get the stitch as close as I can to the edge. Because I have so much ribbon, I think there was 6 yards in the bag that I got at the thrift store. I'm just gonna do 3 rows actually of the ribbon. So I went ahead and pinned the second row, and now I'm gonna start to sew that. So I've added 3 strips of the ribbon, and now I'm going to add a little bit of that lace underneath the last strip of ribbon. I waited to cut the end of the ribbon till I had got to the end of the stitch, because with one of the ribbons I pre-cut it and it was just a tad too short at the end. So I waited this time to make sure that all the ribbons and the lace would cover to the end. And here is just that little spot of ribbon at the end that was just a tad bit too short. So make sure you give yourself plenty of ribbon so you don't do the same thing that I did. And the last step was just to flip the curtain over, and just on the edges where the ribbon ended to sew a line to make it more secure on both sides. I decided to hang the curtain with some curtain ring clips instead of sewing in a rod pocket, just to make it look a little different. I think adding the bottom strip of fabric and the ribbon was just what this curtain needed for extra detail. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.